Can you see you? Are you right there to go, Eddie?
I can see you all, but I can't see the recommendation. But go ahead. We'll
Might bring
wing.
up your phone.
Yeah. Oh, good question. I don't have it here. It's all right. I'll wing it.
All right. It is. I declare the meeting open at 12:30. I've got to confirm ahead that all of you can hear and be heard. That you're all present at the meeting. You can hear clearly. You can hear me, and you can each be heard. You each have your microphones on.
Mr. Mayor, I think we might be waiting for Councillor Emerson to join us.
Yes, I think you're right there. I can't see everyone. Must be a button to push to change that. I'll just text him.
Hopefully we can have the recommendation on screen. Strange.
Mr. Mayor, I'm just on the phone to Murray. He's just trying to get in.
Oh, thank you. Any luck, Vaughan?
Not yet, Mr. Mayor. He's still having issues.
Thank you. Oh, there he is. All right. Now that Murray's here, I'll declare the meeting open at 12:33. We are all present, and we can all hear and be heard. I will now say the affirmation. We recognise the traditional owners of the land. We are inspired by the early pioneers and by those who gave their lives for our country. We now ask God's blessing on our deliberations and on our commitment to build a better lifestyle and environment. This council meeting is being recorded and live streamed to council's YouTube channel. The recording will also be made available on council's website. Whilst all care has been taken to ensure that your privacy is maintained, please be aware that your presence may be recorded. Do I have any disclosures of interest, disclosures of a conflict of interest out there?
Yeah, Ms. Mayor, I just want to declare that I have an interest as I am a Stawell Secondary College School Council member, but I do not believe that I have a conflict of interest.
Thank you, Councillor Heslop. Is there anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Look, my wife works at the secondary college, but I don't believe that's a conflict of interest.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Irwin. All right, so if we move right along now to 3.1, it's the school crossing supervisors. Could I please have...
Yes, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I'm happy to move a motion.
Yeah, so Councillor Eddy, did you say you'd like to move a motion there?
Yes, I did, Mr. Mayor. It's just the signal's floating in and out. But if I'll certainly yield to Councillor Hislop if that be the desire.
I'm happy for me to move the motion.
Go ahead if you want to.
Absolutely, please.
That council joins the school crossing scheme and provides supervised crossings at 1, Sonata Primary School, 2, St Patrick's Catholic Primary School, 3, Stawell Secondary College, 4, Stawell Primary School, 5, Stawell West Primary School, starting term 1 of the 2024 school year.
Do I have a seconder for that motion, please?
I'm happy to second that for debate.
Thank you. Councillor Hislop.
So just looking at our report, our analysis states it is not a legal requirement for local government to provide school crossing supervisors. But we all know there are regulations outside the road, under the Road Management Act that councils should follow. Both local and state governments have a shared responsibility to the protection of children around schools. The purpose of the Road Management Act to establish a coordinated system for public roads that will promote safe and efficient state and local public road networks. I think we should have a consistent state approach to avoid confusion. By joining the school crossing scheme, it will enable a consistent partnership and model in place for local councils. The Road Management Act, just when I was reading it, some of the research shows that children under 12 do not have the skills and experience to be safe in traffic. Our report does mention traffic counts, but I don't believe that traffic counts, they don't take into the account the needs of children or parents' needs. We also haven't consulted our community about any proposed changes. So I think we should continue to offer the same service that we are currently offering, and that means voting for the option and the recommendation that I've put forward. Support school crossing supervisors that love their job and are good at what they do, supervising school crossings, rain, hail or shine, and understand the children's and parents' needs. Then down the track, if we wish to consider making changes, consult with our community and find their views first before making a messy rush decision.
Thank you, Councillor Hislop. Councillor Irwin.
Yeah, look, I've hummed and hawed whether to go back into the scheme or do something off our own bat. Obviously, the crossings and the figures show this, that the crossings aren't used a heck of a lot. But I think we're in a time of change, and I think there's probably a new era coming in terms of school crossings. From my point of view, children's safety has always been a strong consideration, and should be considered in this debate. But and I think if change comes in the future, that being part of the scheme may assist us in alterations that are required at those crossings. So that's where I'm coming from. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Does any other councillor wish to speak?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yes, Councillor Eddy.
I disagree with the view that we should join a scheme that's half-baked. The Department of Transport and Planning have not developed the scheme to a point where we can honestly, hand on heart, say that we understand all that they are offering. Further, there's no commitment by Department of Transport, or for that matter, the state government, to support the council in their provision of supervised crossings. There's no understanding of whether the Department of Transport will supply the necessary road treatments on the arterial roads at the very minimum to make the school crossings safer. And Councillor Irwin's absolutely right. The children's safety is the #1 priority here. I can't see why or how the community should accept a scheme that doesn't identify these features. So consequently, I would be voting against this motion as it stands. I would certainly strongly recommend that we provide temporary supervisors for the crossings on council roads, because the Department of Transport have already indicated that they will honour the obligation to provide superintendents until such time as they figure out what they're going to do on the arterial roads to improve safety. So on that basis, I will be not supporting this motion.
Right. I just wish to ask a question of Mary. Mary, if I'm going for an alternate motion at this point, do I take a vote first on the first one? I don't. So the next question is, would any other councillor like to speak? And then if not, does any other councillor would any other councillor like to put forward an alternate motion?
I'll just speak to the motion first, if you don't mind, before we do an alternate, if that's the way we go. Thank you. I was pretty much going to say very similar to Councillor Starcevic, but you said it much more articulately than me. I think, as we've all stated, as councillors, we do want, like, the paramount, number one priority is the safety of the young people in our community, and we've had conversations with the school principals and a number of stakeholders around what this looks like. And so if it was as simple as saying, providing that support to schools, we do it. But there is a lot more intricate details that is involved. And as Councillor Starcevic touched on, the scheme through Department of Transport and state government is still very loose and up in the air. So I think it's is risky to move forward with something we're not too sure about. As it does, we could presume what we could be looking at, but then I guess we just don't really know. So that's where it lies for me. There's probably not enough information that's out yet around that, but I think hopefully there could be an alternate motion that does look at providing some sort of support to the schools as well, to allow the safety of the children in our shire.
Thank you, Councillor Dempsey. Would any councillor, could I have an alternate motion with amendment from another councillor, please?
I'm just not quite sure why you're asking for an alternate motion when we have a motion already on the table that's been moved and seconded.
I'm just reading. We need to vote on this one first, obviously. Sorry about that, Karen. All right. Could we please have a vote on the original motion, which was brought by Karen Heslop and seconded by Kevin Irwin? All in favour?
Am I able to sum up? I moved the
absolutely.
motion. I have the right to sum up.
Yes, absolutely. Please, Karen, go ahead.
Yep, no, okay, look, we all realise that there's probably changes in the future, but I just think the time frames are too short. The 6 weeks, once school finishes, we've got 6 weeks until school starts again, basically 6, 7 weeks. So I just think the time frames are too short to be going around, mucking around, trying to make changes. And I agree with Kevin and what some of the other councillors said. I think our children's safety needs to be our first priority, not cost to council. So, and I also believe strongly that any changes that are made down the track have to be with community consultation with the parents, the teachers, people that are affected by any decision going forward. So I think that's why I'm quite strong that we stay with this scheme and with the system we have at the moment.
Thank you, Councillor Heslop. Councillor Irwin, would you like to sum up before we vote?
I don't think we need to sum up. Perhaps put it to the vote.
All right, I'll put it to the vote. All in favour? Against?
Can I call for a division, please?
Yes, of course. Those in favour? Please note Karen Heslop and Kevin Irwin. Those against, Councillor Eddie Ostarovich, Lauren Dempsey and Rob Haswell. I can't see Murray there. He's dropped out again.
He's got his hand up for against the motion too.
Has he? Thank you very much.
I'm voting against the motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Murray. All right, that's defeated then. All right, could I call for an alternative motion, please?
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Councillor Ostarovich.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move a motion that council does not join the school crossing scheme, and item 2 provides temporary school crossing supervisors at A, Stawell Primary School, Barn Street, and B, Stawell West Primary School, Cooper Street, until such time that crossing safety treatments have been undertaken. Yes, that's it.
Thank you, Councillor. Could I please have a seconder?
Happy to second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Emerson. Councillor Ostarovich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is as Councillor Heslop was talking about. This has been all brought about to a head in a rush, and it's important for us to recognise that, as I said, and as other councillors have said, that our number one priority is the children. Therefore, council will need to take on the responsibility of providing supervisors for the crossings that are within the town, recognising that the Department of Transport are responsible for supervisors on the arterial roads. So consequently, all supervisors required will be in place for the new term. This motion allows us the time necessary to figure out what the scheme means properly, because fundamentally it's not been defined. It's tantamount to the community being asked to sign a blank check, and that banking account is relatively thin at the best of times. So consequently, I think that we would be prudent to avoid that style of blank check signature. By all means, we need to support the supervisors to ensure that the crossings are safe. However, we just don't throw everything at a scheme that is ill-defined. This is just another example of cost shifting from government to councils, because we're the last line in the we're the last dance partner, if I can put it that way, and we rarely, if ever, have the muscle to say no. We're at the behest, and frankly, if the state government through the Department of Transport decide to punish us for not joining the scheme in whatever way, whether they cut back our funding, then it's really incumbent on all of us as councillors to scream that from the rafters, because that's just another form of bullying which we should never accept. We certainly don't accept it anywhere else. So why should we accept it from a state government bureaucracy? So consequently, this will allow for superintendents to be in place. It will allow council staff to determine what type of treatments are required, where the funding would be available for those treatments, and how and the schedule for which those treatments would be put. To that end, I commend the motion to council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ostarovich. Councillor Emerson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think it's a good motion, but before I address it as a seconder, I would say that Councillor Heslop's motion was pretty good too, and I think we could have gone either way, but I think this is just a little bit better motion from the community point of view. And I think we've got to be really clear that the council is making sure with this motion, if it gets up, that school crossing supervisors will be in place for the start of 2024. And into sometime into 2024, until Transport Victoria, the local government authority and the community are given the opportunity to get their heads around what is the best system we can go for later in the time. It's certainly about the welfare of the children in our community, and this council has never shied away from that, even when we changed the system 10 years ago. And the same, in my opinion, applies right now. As I say, it could have went either way. Councillor Heslop's motion was good, where we were going to put in place crossing supervisors. This one's doing the same, but not forcing us into a commitment with the state government right at the moment. So I also commend the motion as well. Thank you.
Thank you,
Can I just ask
Councillor
a question, Mr. Mayor? Sorry, through the Mayor. Can you just read out what the motion is again, please?
Councillor
I'm
Rostashuk.
happy to do that. That Council 1 does not join the school crossing scheme, and 2 provides temporary school crossing supervisors at A, Stawell Primary School, Barnes Street, B, Stawell West Primary School, Cooper Street, until such time that the crossing safety treatments have been undertaken.
Thank you, Councillor Eddy. Anything else, anything further there, Councillor Heslop? No? Any other councillor wish to speak?
Yes, I'm happy to, Mr. Mayor, just to I think add to the 2 points of Councillor Emerson and Starcevic are points that I do support as well and agree with. We do need some more information about the scheme, and this has come about in a rush way, and that is the fault of the state government, and we want to be able as a council to provide some support and school crossing supervisors to schools, and we want them to be able to know ahead of time as well. So this is sort of the earliest that we could do it this year, but to have that security and support from council moving forward with the schools into term 1 of 2024, I think then now they have the schools and the supervisors themselves, as well as the families and communities, have that reassurance that we, if this motion is put, that there will be that support moving forward, perhaps on a temporary basis, perhaps there, as the motion states, other work to look into how to make these crossings more safe moving forward in a more sustainable and long-term way. That's the aim of council, I think, as well, is to perhaps do some work in sourcing what those potential options could be, and not making that rush decision right now. So I would agree with the motion to then be able to, at least for now, provide support to the schools in the Northern Grampians Shire with the school crossing supervisors.
Thank you, Councillor Dempsey. Councillor Grady, do you wish to add to this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I support Councillor Starcevic's motion because I agree. I don't think we can join a half-baked government scheme at the moment. It's just too rushed, and I think with this motion gives us more time to have a look at what we need to do, and we will definitely be looking after the children in our Shire. So yes, I'll stand by this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Grady. Any other councillor wish to speak? Councillor Eddy, would you like to do a final sum up?
Sorry, my hand's up.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Karen. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's fine. Look, it just worries me that we haven't taken this out for community consultation. We're making a fairly major decision here. We've not consulted with the community. We're here to represent the community, and we're making a decision, and we haven't consulted, and it worries me.
Thanks, Karen. Councillor Eddy, would you like to sum up?
Thank you. If I might just respond to that consultation, there is nothing to consult about here. We're providing the school crossing supervisors that will comfort the community in knowing that there will be some supervision of crossings, full stop. The issue that we have here is typical, as I say, typical of the shifting. This is Department of Education and Department of Transport responsibility. Fundamentally, this is all to do with education and school crossings and roads, and yet here council are being asked to join a scheme that is completely bereft of detail that we need to understand what we have to do. I completely agree with Councillor Dempsey's comments about reassuring the community that the crossings will be supervised. That's the purpose of this this motion, and it also provides us with the necessary time to improve safety, not to diminish. So that reassurance that Councillor Dempsey has stated is absolutely accurate. And to that end, I commend this to councillors for their consideration.
Can I
Thank
call
you.
for division, please? Let's put to the vote.
Yes, we can do that. Would anyone else like to speak? If not, I'll put the motion to the vote. All of those in favour of Councillor Ostarovich's motion?
I'm voting for the motion if you can't see me, Mr. Mayor.
I can't see you, but I can hear you. Thank you. And all against? Now, Councillor Heslop has asked for a division. So the division is, could the people that were against please raise their hand? So we had Karen. Kevin, are you? I can't see you, unfortunately. Are you?
Yes.
You're against. So against is Councillor Heslop and Councillor Irwin. And for is Councillor Ostarovich, Councillor Emerson, Councillor Dempsey, Councillor Grady and Councillor Haswell. The motion is passed. Thank you. We don't have anything else on our list here today. It's a short one. So there being no further business, I will close the council meeting at 12:56. Thank you.